Industry Season 4, Episode 6, Recap. Whitney's dark moves and SternTao's big reveal. Episode 6 of Industry might be my favorite episode this season, and one of my favorite episodes so far in the entirety of the show. As we ramp up for the finale, the stakes and the drama are at their high this season, and we were left to wonder who's going to be the last person standing. This episode's main focus is on SternTao finally exposing that Tender is a front, and they actually have been covering up their fund management. Once again, we see how this is playing out and how it's going to affect all of our key players. This was one of those episodes where I was glued to the TV, and it really felt like I was stuck in their world through all of the good and bad going on around them. We see Henry and Yasmin's side of things, where their marriage is straining and pulling them further and further apart. Yasmin is starting to see through the facade, and she is getting tired of the way that Whitney is acting and how oblivious Henry is being. But of course, Henry does think there's anything wrong with it and essentially gaslights her into thinking that nothing is going on, which she truly does believe. Yasmin has a meeting with Harper, where Harper tries to warn her of what Whitney has been doing at Tender, and they go tit for tat for a bit. That scene was truly a highlight in this week's episode for me. The actresses feed off each other's energies really well, and it is one of the highlights of the show. After we get to the end of the episode, it made me think that I really believe at this point that Harper and Yas might be the only people at the end of the show to make it out or on top within this world. We seen Henry and Whitney meeting with their auditor and kind of letting go a bit. Then we move over to Henry and Whitney at a gay club together, and Henry ends up having relations with a random guy while Whitney whispers in his ear. Whitney is truly such a silently evil character. Like, he does so many sly and coy things that are backhanded or terrible, but you don't see the gravity of it until it hits the fan. All of the characters in Industry are flawed. We know that at this point. I don't know why, but I feel like Whitney is a new kind of flawed. We're also seeing how things are affecting Harper and Eric and what their game plan is. Harper is prepping for this new business summit, and she is going to present their findings about Tender and their assets, or lack thereof, in Africa. The presentation goes very well, and we see Tender take a major hit to their profit due to the information of the lack of funds and fabrication of financials. This sends Whitney into a panic, but he quickly thinks about how he can spin the situation and find a way to come out on top. But it's too late. They've taken the financial hit, and Yasmin and Henry are starting to get worried about the situation as well. Henry decides to take matters into his own hands, and he's reaching out to the auditor and other resources to find out what he can before the ship totally goes down. Whitney then lets him know that essentially if he continues to pursue this, they will both go down together and will be at fault for what's happened within the company. We also find out through Haley confessing to Yasmin that Whitney hires all of his assistants through an escort agency so that they can sleep with and get dirt on clients for blackmail. This ties into Eric's storyline because last week we closed the episode with him hooking up with an escort he has been regularly meeting with. We find out that he's being blackmailed, and there's video footage of the act from the prior episode, and the girl that he slept with is a minor. This leaves Eric distraught and leads him to severing his tie with SternTao and leaving it to Harper solely. This scene truly made me tear up. A lot of fans, myself included, see Eric as this sort of father figure to Harper's character, and the scene was so well done. As much as I hate what he did, I hope this is the last we will see of him. Harper is now back where she was at the beginning of the season and is picking up the pieces and trying to move forward. The real question now is Yasmin going to jump ship at Tender and work with Harper to make it out of this? Or is Tender going to retaliate and take SternTao down? This was truly one of the best episodes of this show thus far, and I can believe we are already almost done with Season 4. I am not excited about having to wait for Season 5, but I am ready to see how these final 2 episodes play out. I would give this episode a solid 5 5-star rating.